Iain from RTO here. Hope you've all had a good weekend. We're going to kick off this week with a bit of symphonic metal from the Dutch band Epica. Now, I've been a big fan of these. I like symphonic metal and pretty good. Now, they were formed by Mark Jansen, who, after his departure from another good band called After Forever, they've started out as a symphonic metal band with gothic influences, but as things developed, they had a strong death metal elements and progressive metal. They've taken it from all sorts, though. They've not just got some proper traditional metal riffs, black metal riffs, power metal, Arabic music. It's all over the thing. And then they've got this wonderful singer called Simon Simmons. Wonderful brilliance. And you got the contrast with the growl of Mark. Makes them an interesting band. They really haven't put out a bad album, and they've released 9 in total. So we're going to have a look at those today. So coming in at number 9 is the 9th album, and it was released on the 11th of April 2025, and it's called Aspiral. It resumed on the New Age Dawn series that was started way back in 2005. So playing on here, we've got Simone Simons on lead vocals, Mark Jansen on harsh vocals, as I like that, rhythm guitar and orchestration, Isaac Delahaye on lead guitar, Rob van der Loo on bass, Cohen Jansen keyboards, Aaron van Vessenbeek on drums, with additionals of Marcelo Bavio on backing vocals, Mara Jan Wellman and Linda Jansen von Sumeren. First track on here is a track called Cross the Divide. Simone's brilliant, vocals are brilliant on this as ever. The biggest issue, they have sort of gone a little bit the other way. Instead of being more, they've become more gritty. They've sort of gone more soft commercial sound. It sounds good, but it took a little while to get used to. Then we have Arcana, good vocal. There's some good riffs in it. It's pretty solid. Then we have Darkness Dies in the Light, which is a New Age Dawns Part 7. My favourite bit, and it's very operatic. It's the best track on the album. It's got elements of all that, the symphonic side, the death metal side. It's just absolutely a brilliant track. 7 minutes 59, brilliant stuff. Then we have Obsidian Heart. This is typical Epica riffs, grungy, real dirty bass line. Another fine performance on the vocals. Fight to Survive, the overview effect. Now this in the middle, it sort of stutters a bit. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it's sort of 2 or 3 bits put together, but it's sort of stuttered in the middle. Then we have Mentonia, which is part 8 of a New Age Dawns. Fantastic vocal from Simone. Very operatic again. It's very full symphonic sound. Time, which is Time. Stunning again. It's just a fine vocal from Simone. Apparition. It's probably the weakest track on here. But the guitar solo by Isaac is super. It's a little, I don't know, it just seems to wander a little bit. Eye of a Storm. Mark's grunts really, is really deep in the bowels of his lungs there, and it complements with some of Simone's more operatic sound, soprano. Really great combination. And then we have the Grand Saga of Existence, which is part 9 of A New Age Dawns. It sounds very commercial. This is clap your hands sort of thing. Yeah, it's all right. And then we have Aspiral, which is a really nice, gentle ballad style, and it's another stunning vocal from Simone. Yeah, I think it is a good album, but I don't think it has the same bite. I don't know if it's because it's only been out a couple of months, but at the moment I'm still getting used to it. It's got some great stuff on it though, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in at number 8, we've got the third album, released in 2007, and it's called The Divine Conspiracy, and it was their first concept album. So it's Simone and Mark, and on here on lead guitar on this one is Ad Sluja, Eve Hertz on bass, Cohen Janssen on synths and piano and baritone vocals. We've got Aaron Van Vesselbeek on drums as an additional guest, and Sander Gamons on death grunts. Olaf Rettermeyer acoustic guitars, Amanda Somerville spoken words, Gaia Lucassen priest, and Jeff Wade spoken on the Falls of Damnation. First we get a prologue called Indigo. This is sort of a eerie prologue. It's got a choir, and you're just wondering what's coming next. And come next is the Obsessive Devotion. The drumming on this is awesome. I love this sort of progressive metal rolling drum bass super track. Great vocal from Simone as ever. Menace of Vanity comes next. What I like about this genre is the grandeur. Choirs, metal, great drumming. It's just a wall of sound. It's a great track. Chasing the Dragon, my favourite track on here. It's a sort of a ballady track from Epica. It's got so much emotion in it. The vocal delivery is outstanding, but the keyboard work is wonderful on this as well. Never Enough comes next. Love the grunts on this. And then you've got Simone's responses. Wonderful. Then we have this little instrumental. It's called La Piachata Revez, which means the last embrace. I don't know. It's got bongos on it and acoustic guitar, and it works well. Then we have Death of the Dream, The Embrace That Smothers, Part 7. The drums sound a little bit tinny on this. I think it needed to be a bit more beefy. But the solo is good on it as well. Then we've got Living a Lie, The Embrace of That Smothers, Part 8. I love the middle bit of this. It goes into a sort of this Latino thing, and then it goes into a choir from a church service. It's all over the place, and then you get this real heavy riff towards the end. All in 5 minutes, you get all these wonderful different pieces together, and it works very well. Then we have The Falls of Damnation, Embrace That Smothers, Part 9. A little bit tinny on the drums again, needs a little bit more depth, but it sounds like a very sort of soundtrack piece of music to me. Beyond Belief, pretty solid track, love the vocals and the choir. Safeguard to Paradise. I just like it when you got this real heavy riff and then you get some very sort of classical piano put in it. And a really great vocal from Simone. Sancta Terra next. Probably one of the best vocals by Simone on here. The drums let it down a little bit. And then we get The Divine Conspiracy, the epic at the end. The drums a little bit weak. I've heard this live and it sounds much better live. I do like the track, but I think, as I said, the live version is the better. Great album, continuing the story of the Embrace that Smothers. The drum mix lets this one down a little bit, but I'm still going to give it an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 7, we have the fifth album from 2012. Requiem for the Indifferent. First to feature solos by keyboardist Cohen Janssen, and it's the final album that features original member Yves Hertz on the bass guitar. So it's Simone, Mark, Isaac and Yves, Cohen on the synths, Aaron Van Vesselbeek on the drums. Additional, we've got Amanda Somerville again doing backing vocals. So we get another prelude, and this one's called Karma. As ever with Epica, you've got this wonderful start, and it goes straight into Monopoly on Truth. The choral and the riffs, the drumming from Aaron is brilliant. Fantastic track. Storm of the Sorrow, another great Simone vocal here. Love the piano work on this one as well. It's a terrific track. Delirium, very melodic. I love the keyboards in this. That gives it that full, and then you got that full symphonic stunning sound that you get. Internal Warfare. Now this is dedicated to the victims of the 2011 Norway attacks. The keyboards and drums and some vocal is lovely, and it is quite moving, very good. Then we have Requiem for the Indifferent. Sounds like a proper symphonic rock opera. This is. It's full, it's in your face, it's wonderful. Then we get a little interlude, and it's called Amina. It's a very little eerie piano piece that then goes into Guilty Demeanor. The vocal from Simone is absolutely top drawer. Such a powerful vocal. Then we have my favourite track on here, and it's called Deep Water Horizon. I like the start of this. I love the acoustic guitars before you get the full power of the symphonic metal band comes in, and it's probably Simone's best vocal on the album. Stay the Course is the next track. Great riffs, some super drumming on that one. Like that track. D to the Tyrant. Once again, the guitar is wonderful. I love this track. Isaac's guitar work is pretty impressive on that. Avalanche. It varies. It's got some grunts, it's got some operatic on it. Then Serenade of Self-Destruction. I love the vocals. You've got the wonderful angelic voice of Simone. It's a really good track. Last track on the album as well. Once again, a pretty solid all the way through. Some great performances on this. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.2. Okay, coming in at number 6, we've got the second album from 2005, Consign to Oblivion. And it vocals features then Camelot vocalist Roy Khan. And the album's lyrics are inspired by the Maya civilization. So it's Simone on lead vocals, Mark on rhythm guitars and grunts and screams, Al Slajusha on lead guitar, Yves Hertz on bass, Cohen Janssen on synths, Jerome Simons on drums. Additional musician is Roy Khan, of course, from Camelot at the time. So the first track is Hunab Ku, which means a new day, a new age dawns prologue. One of my favourite prologues on their albums. It's very dramatic, like an entrance in a film, which goes into the dance of fate. I love the bass from Yves on this. It's a wonderful vocal from Simone. The Last Crusade, which is a new age dawns part 1, starts off with this sort of Gregorian chant in a church. A thunderous drum bolt comes in, the bass line starts picking up the groove. It's absolutely brilliant. Then we have Solitary Ground, one of the gentle tracks on here, and it's a fine angelic vocal from Simone. Black Infinity, operatic with some lovely piano, some great riffs on this. The Force of the Shore, the choir sounds wonderful on this. It's got some depth when Simone starts doing her lead singing. Then we have Quietus or Quintus. I can't remember how I pronounce that one. A melodic track. A Mother of Light. A New Age Dawns Part 2. Great drumming on this. It's melodic. Then we have Toi Vereges, which features Roy Khan. Lovely sort of vocal on this between Roy and Simone. Got some harpsichord on it as well. Excellent track. Another Me in Lachen. Melodic. The bass line seems to harmonise with the drums here. Really good. Consign to Oblivion, which is a New Age Dawn Part 3. The riff on it is really, it's got one of them lingering riffs. And then them short stabs on the keyboard. Trumpet sounds. It's a great track to end the album. I just love the storytelling on this. Obviously you get the rest of the track, the story on Aspiral. I love this album. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.4. Coming in at number 5, we have the 8th studio from 2021, and it's called Amiga. Simone and Mark and Isaac. Got Cohen on the synths again. Rob Van der Loo on bass, and Aaron Van Vesselbeek on the drums. Additionals are Marcelo Bobbio again on backing vocals, along with Linda Janssen van Summeren and Zahir Zogati, who does the Arabic vocal and translations. Paul Babekin on vocal, spoken words, and Vicky Palaskris on both spoken words as well. So the first track is another little prologue thing. It's called Alpha Anteldulium. Celtic. Tin whistles. And then it goes into a nice orchestra piece that goes straight into Abyss of Time. The keyboard is great. The fine vocal from Simone. Mark's wonderful grunts in between Simone. Really good. The skeleton key. Second favourite track on here. I love the vocal delivery from Simone. And little gentle riffs coming through. Seal of Solomon. All the things about this band are on this. Dramatic drums, choral, some lovely keyboard runs, some lovely licks, some lovely singing. Everything I do like that. Then we have Gahia. It's another choral with some lovely keyboards in it. It's melodic. And a lovely echo on Simone's voice on that one. Code of Life, another great song. Really comes to life towards the end when the drumming just gives it this big crescendo. Freedom, The Wolves Within, solid track with guitar work on this. There's a lovely bit in the middle between Isaac and Mark. Very, very good. Then we get the Kingdom of Heaven Part 3. It's the best track on here. It's 13 minutes. It's a proper epic. You got some lovely flute on it. It builds up, and then a quarter of the way through, in come the grunts, which takes it to a new dimension. And then it comes back down to earth with the majestic Simone. Brilliant piece of music. Then we have Rivers. Another great vocal from Simone. It starts off gentle and it just builds up again. Synergize, Manic Manifest, second favourite track on this one. It's got a really gritty vocal on this, and I love the difference between the gritty riffs as well and melodic riffs. Really good. You get this little bit of grunt from Mark that's not at the foreground, it's in the background. It really adds to it. Then we get Twilight Riviera, a little bit different. It's very sedated for the rest of the album. It's another good vocal from Simone. Then we have Omega, the Sovereign of the Sun. Another long track. A melodic store. Then they get the grunts and get the main vocal. The drumming is terrific. It's got that real rumble with it. Great track to end the album. There is one thing with Epica, they're pretty consistent on these albums. There is not one bad track on here, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 4, we got the 6th album from 2014, and it's the Quantum Enigma, and it's the first album that new bassist Rob Vanderloo plays on. So we got Simone and Mark, Isaac Cohen, Aaron Van Vesselbeek, and Rob on the bass. Additional personnel on here, we got Marcel backing vocals and Daniel de Jong on textures and male vocals. So the first track is called Origem. It's a little prelude again. It's gothic. Some nice twinkly piano, and then the sort of orchestral sound takes over because it's leading up to going into the second stone. I love the start of this. Fantastic guitar playing from Isaac. Some terrific drumming from Iain. I love how the beat gets faster and faster, but he's always in control. The essence of silence. Incredible performance on the vocal from Simone. She's hitting notes I didn't know that existed. Absolutely wonderful track. Victims of Contingency. The beginning of this is really interesting. It sounds like a soundtrack to a movie. It's very dramatic. Then you get this almighty guitar riff and takes it into another dimension. Then my favourite track on here is Sense Without Sanity, and in brackets the Imperious Code. My favourite track, the guitar work between Isaac and Mark again is terrific. It's got that real twin progressive metal sound, and very harmonious as well. Brilliant. Unchained Utopia, a very melodic track, but my favourite bit is the choir. Oh, does it sound good. The Fifth Guardian, a little interlude, very Celtic, which runs straight into Chemical Insomnia. The drumming, I love Aaron's drumming on this. It's got this double bass rolling sound. Great track. Reverence, Living in the Heart. It does sound like a genuine operatic track, just with a bit of guitars and a fine solo vocal from Simone. Absolutely stunning. Omen, the Ghoulish Mandalay, another good track. Orchestral sound, I think it's done on the keyboards. It's just brilliant. If this was a full orchestra, it'd even be better. Canvas of Life starts off very gentle with some lovely piano, and then it just builds up again. Really, really good track. Natural Corruption. The bass and drums follow each other. They're sort of entwined before you get this wonderful vocal from Simone. And then you get the last track, the Quantum Enigma, Kingdom of Heaven Part 2. I love the eerie and howling winds and guitar. It sets the scene. It just comes straight in. There's little bits that you've already heard that was on Part 3 of Kingdom of Heaven. It sort of intermingles with it. Brilliant track to end the album. I like this where you get, I like their albums where you don't get, like Kingdom of Heaven, you don't get all parts on one album. They put these little parts all over. Brilliant album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.6. Top 3 then. So bottoming out the top 3. The 4th album from 2009, Design Your Universe. It was the first album to officially have members Isaac Delaney and Aaron Van Visselbeek. So it's Mark, Isaac, Yves on the bass, Cohen on the synthesizers, Aaron on the drums. Additional personnel, we've got Tony Kako on clean male vocal, Amanda Somerville sopranos, and Brian Reese orchestral arrangements. So we got Samadhi, the prelude, another great prelude. It sounds like Carmen's Orff. Dun 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 dun. You know, or as us oldies remember, it's the Old Spice advert. That's what it reminds me of. And then we get Resigned to Surrender, which is A New Age Dawn's part number 4. Another great part of this. I'd love to put all these together, and see what they sound like running off each on thing. Might do that one day. It's another brilliant track. The best bit of it is the drumming. Unleashed, another of my favourite vocals from Simone on this album. Absolutely wonderful voice she's got. Martyr of the Free World. This is some great metal. It's good old-fashioned heavy metal on there. No denying that, with a little bit of Simone. Wonderful track. Our Destiny. From going from the grunties, you've got angelic. You've got both on here. You've got that real grunty with Simone. Then we have Kingdom of Heaven, which is a New Age Dreams part 5, but part 1 of Kingdom of Heaven. Explain that. But it is my favourite track. As I said, it's not only the first part of Kingdom of Heaven, but part 5 of the New Age. It's got 2 roles, and it takes elements from both tracks that from previous albums and albums that will be coming. It's just another epic progressive metal track. Then we have another little interlude called The Price of Freedom. Just sounds like it's been taken as a soundtrack, smacked a dramatic speeches in it. It's wonderful, which goes nicely into Burn to a Cinder. There's some stabby keyboards, the complements, the drums, the choir's in full swing here. Really good. Tides of Time, another powerful track. It's got some nice gentle piano work at the guitar. At the start, the guitars come in, and a very strong vocal from Simone. Deconstruct, some nice riffs on this. It's another very solid track. Semblance of Liberty. The powerful drums and bass dominate this track all the way through. Then we've got White Waters, which features Tony Kakko. It's a lovely vocal between Simone and Tony, work off each other. Then we have Design Your Universe, a New Age Dawn, part number 6. We've got some grunts in this. It just carries on the thing. It's got some nice riffs. Another stunning album. Not a bad track again, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So coming in at number 2 is the debut album from 2003, and it's the Phantom Agony, and it's got a couple of tracks from The Embrace That Smothers. Now that appears on the After Forever album, Prison of Desire. So we've got Simone, Mark, Ad Slugia on guitar, Cohen Janssen on synth, Yves Hutz on bass, Jerome Simmons on drums. The first track is called the Atia, the Never Ending Embrace. Again, it's a little prelude, very similar to the Ever After album Monkey Type Quarrel start. It's really good, and then it goes into sensorism. I love the start of this. That keyboard is wonderful. Then you get the riffs from Ad and Mark come through. Simone comes in, and whoa, what a great singer. Then we have Cry for the Moon, which is Embrace That Smothers Part 4. Continued the thing from after the After Forever album. I think this is even better. The drumming on this sounds even better. The bassy meat, and it's the grunt from Mark is really good. Faint is my favourite track, and it's one of my favourite tracks by Epica. It's one of the best vocals that Simone ever has done. Elusive Consensus. It's got that synthetic metal drumming that I love. The rolling bass, double bass drums, the hi-hats, the choral sounds. It's wonderful. Then we got Facade of Reality, which is the Embrace That Smothers Part 5. Now all the grunts You can't really understand them on this, but it just sort of chalk and cheese against Simone's vocal. So you get you've got a grunt, a angelic voice, and then some spoken word all through the track. Really good. Then A Run for a Fall, great vocal from Simone, angelic. Then CF Aldin, The Embrace of Smothers Part 6. Probably the weakest of them all, but it's still a great track. It's sort of, if you put them together, I think this is the one that's like the anti-climax. Then we get the Phantom Agony. You got the grunt and the angelic singing on this, but you got the lovely keyboard runs through this track. Great album. Great debut. Mark sort of took what he'd done in After Forever and took it to a new dimension. So I really love this album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, my number one favourite album by Epica. It's an album that came out in 2016. It's the 7th album, and it's called the Holographic Principle. But the notable thing about this is the only release without band leader Mark Jansen as a guitarist. He is on the album, he just provides the growl vocals. That says, Isaac played all the guitars on the album. There is no reason that has been given for this either from Jansen or DeLahaye. So you've got Simone, Mark, Isaac, who plays bouzouki and ukulele on this as well. Rob Van Lunderloo on bass, Cole Jansen on the keyboards, Aaron on the drums, additionals on here. As ever, you've got Linda Jansen Van Summeren on backing vocals, Marcella Bebeau on as well. We've got Kato Jansen as the child's voice. So that's Cohen's daughter, I would say. Paul Balpaget doing the Elves King's voice, and Martin de Pieper snare drum. So the first track is called Idola. Again, a little opening track from Epica. It's got a really eerie sound to it. Very sort of scary sound, which goes lovely into the Edge of Blade. I love the beginning of this. I love the keyboards. The choral on this is wonderful. Another stunning vocal from Simone. Then we have a Phantasmic Parade. Very delicate keyboards on this. And you think, oh, this is going to be gentle. Then, boy, the power of power metal comes through you like a strike of lightning. And this time you've got Simone and the choir do the responses. Wonderful track. Universal Death Squad. Love that double bass drum. It echoes round the room. The bass does as well. Divide and Conquer. One of my favourite tracks. I love the grunts on this. You know, Mark's not playing guitar, but he makes his presence felt with these grunts. And then you've got this little Simone piece that sort of goes in between. Good track. Beyond the Matrix. The choral on this is wonderful. It's musical, it's melodic. Once Upon a Time, a Nightmare, probably one of my favourite tracks by the band. It's dominated by the guitar solo from Isaac. Absolutely stunning piece of guitar work. One of the best things he's done in the band. The Cosmic Algorithm, another great track. Just love the choral responses from Simone's verses. Even Mark's little bit of grunt gives it a little more depth. Ascension, A Dream State of Armageddon. This is one of those tracks that builds up again. It starts very eerie, and the bass from Aaron just keeps taking it into a new dimension, and then it it's got this wonderful crescendo at the end. Dancing in a Hurricane. This is an Eastern Mystique sound. I love tracks that have got that mystical East sound. The drumming from Aaron is brilliant. Tear Down Your Walls. One of those tracks again starts off gently. It just builds up. So does Simone's vocal. It gets more dynamic as the track goes on. Then we have the track that ends with that absolute epic, and it's the title track, the Holographic Principle. A profound understanding of reality. The first pound of it sounds like it's again a choir singing in the church. It's like a male choir as well. It's beautiful, it's eerie, and it rumbles, and then you get the little bit of grunt coming in from Mark that you wouldn't get in a church choir, of course. And then you get like the Simone's solo piece, lovely tones, the piano. So it starts building up and building up. Then the guitars come in, the drumming comes in. It's an absolutely spellbinding track to end the album. This is one of the most powerful albums by Epica. It's got a lot of choir. The choir comes into its own, and there's some fine performances. You know, I don't know why Mark didn't play guitars on this, but it's absolutely brilliant album. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go. That's a bit of symphonic metal to blow away the cobwebs on a Monday. Good band. I do like this, you know. They're up there. These are up there with Nightwish and Evanescence. You know, there's some great symphonic metal bands led by a female singer. Okay, coming up next, of course, is a perfect sign for Monday, and we're going to do a bit of prog. We're going to do an album from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and the one we're going to look at is Brain Salad Surgery. So join me for that. Bye for now.